Hey guys, how we doing?
Good, good. How are you?
Good. You might have noticed that it's not the normal crowd that's been involved in some of these Zoom calls with you. So it's just going to be the five of us tonight. But I just got to be honest with you, man. I'm excited about tonight because this team gets the privilege of announcing to you that you are the official candidate with a unanimous vote that we are going to present to the church this coming Sunday afternoon through a special email that they're going to get. And we are just thrilled to tell you that news.
Well, I'm absolutely excited. I know you guys have been working incredibly hard. You've had long meetings, long hours that you have invested into this entire process. I know that you looked at some great candidates. And so I'm honored just out of the fact I know you looked at some great resumes, and the fact that I could be at the top means the world. And so I greatly appreciate that. One of the things I love about our church, we are a healthy church, and I think that it sets us up for great potential in the future. And I fully believe with everything that our best days are ahead. And so I'm totally pumped. Thank you.
Well, fantastic. Mary Julia, listen, we got to know you so much better through this process. And I just have to be honest with you. I can't wait for this thing to get going. We got a little bit of an issue with this, though, because it's not the normal way that we would introduce a new pastor because of the pandemic. We can't meet as we normally would. So we have some odd details that we've got to communicate out to the congregation, and we're going to do so over the next couple of weeks. Jeff and Susie are going to help me with this. So, Jeff, go ahead.
Sure. But before I jump into that, Travis, I just want to piggyback off what Danny just said and echo how thrilled I am that we've landed here, thrilled with how the process has gone, and quite frankly, just ready to move through the next couple of weeks and get the process completed. But as we talk about process, that's really, as Danny said, that's where our issue is. It's not going to be what we're used to. I mean, our timeline's not going to be that different. We're going to, we're going to make an announcement. We're going to have 2 weeks out. There's going to be a sermon in view of a call, but you're not going to be providing that sermon in person in front of the congregation and a vote immediately after. What you're going to be doing is providing that sermon online or live stream, just like we have been the last, 4 or 5 weeks. Folks are going to tune into the 9:30 service. They're going to hear you preach the sermon. The difference is going to be after that sermon, they're going to have the opportunity to cast their vote, respond to our recommendation as our next senior pastor. Now, between now and then, we've got a lot of communicating to do. And some of that communication is let them know, obviously, that the sermon's the 17th, 2 weeks, May 17th, 9:30 service. They're also going to find out that the membership is allowed to vote. They're going to find out details on how to do that and specific details on how each member can vote. And we'll get into that just a bit more later. But the key is we've just got to inundate the membership with communication. We've got to make sure they have all the details. So it's different. We're hoping and praying that it goes smoothly. The technology's there. And quite frankly, if it comes off the way we think it will, we think we have an opportunity to reach cast a wider net, if you will, and have a chance to have more of the congregation, or more of the membership, I should say, hear the sermon and cast their vote. So we're, crazy days, but we're thrilled with how we think we're going to be able to pull it off. And we hope you are too.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Good.
Well, Travis and Mary Julia, I can't tell you how excited I am, and what a privilege to be able to be here when we get to announce this to you. And we're just thrilled. On behalf of the senior pastor search committee, we felt like this entire process was bathed in prayer, just had God's hand on it. I had pastor search committee members, we talked about it, how we just felt like this was just like an ultimate worship experience with the Lord. So thank you for allowing us to be a part of this, and for the hours that you spent as we got to ask you questions. But we felt like even though we've known you for so many years, we felt like we got to know you even better through all of those questions. So we want to make sure that our church gets a chance to ask those questions too. So on Wednesday, May 13th, the Wednesday before you preach in view of a call, we'd like to have a question and answer session. It'll be on Zoom. Who knew that Zoom could accommodate up to 3,000 people, but it can. And we would love to, all of our church members will get an invite to that Zoom meeting, and they'll be able to ask questions via, text in their questions. They'll be able to ask them ahead of time if need, and we will send out all of those details as to how they will do. We will have some pertinent questions as a pastor search committee that we felt were very influential and bring clarity to this decision. But we want everybody to have a chance to ask what's on their heart. So I look for lots of more communication, as Danny and Jeff had said, and we look forward for you sharing that same vision that you shared with us. So
That's excellent. Anything you want to say, or?
I would just say, good grief, I have been wowed by God's goodness in all of this, and even to the point of being overwhelmed. His hand has just been really evident. I'm not surprised at how masterfully he's woven things, because that's just like his character, but he really has proven himself to be a God of the details. And we are just really excited and honored to be able to, really just be two regular people that we get to lock arms with a church body like this and forge ahead. It's, I'll say it again, it's just a total honor. So we're really excited.
Yeah, and I would just say I'm looking forward to the days ahead. We have a great church family. Again, it's very healthy. We have a healthy church, which is a great blessing. We also have a great staff. And when you put those two things together, there is the potential for some really unique, awesome God kind of things that can happen. And so I'm totally honored to be able to potentially lead us into the future so that we can continue to multiply disciples locally, nationally, and internationally.
Well, we are too. And I just have to say, man, this has just been an amazing journey. I will tell you, going into this, there's probably nothing you will ever serve and never serve in a capacity where you feel more pressure than being on a pastor search team. But wow, this thing has been fantastic. And from a technological standpoint, the one other thing that I simply want to say is oftentimes we communicate to families where one email goes to an individual family. But inside those families, inside the Bailey family, there are 3 people who can vote. So it's going to be a burden upon me to make sure that the church knows those individual email addresses for my other family members so that they can vote afterwards. And that'll be part of what the church sees over the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, and it's all coming over the next 2 weeks, and we don't want them to miss it, obviously. So I think we just need the church family to know you've got to stay in touch with your email. If you're not already, make sure you are over the next 2 weeks, because there's going to be critically important stuff. And the last thing we want is for somebody to say, hey, I didn't know, when we know the blast went out or the communication was made, but they just failed to look. So this is the warning. Everybody pay particular attention to your email. There will be some important stuff coming, and exciting days ahead. Can't wait.
Yeah, we're so excited. It's I think you had about 10 church members that were about to burst after we wrapped up the last interview. And I will say that was quite the process. So I just wanted to also say, Travis, you've told us before in Journeys to Haiti that the number one key is flexibility, and you've trained our church well for flexibility in times like this. So we're willing to be flexible with this process. So we love you. We thank you. We're so thankful for your answer to God's call. And we are looking forward to the next couple of weeks. And you'll be, I'm looking forward to the church getting to experience what we got to experience. And we're so thankful that the Lord has just answered our prayers.
We're thrilled and we're excited. This is going to be part of an email that's going out on Sunday. And man, this is day 1 of what I hope is a fabulous journey. We love you guys, and thank you so much for serving and being willing to serve.